Hey guys, Jeremy Smith here. We are in Austin, Texas again, giving you another update of our industry Soma project. As you can see in the background, we're still in the framing phase. I think the last time we came to you, we were just getting ready to start framing the second level. As you can see, we've got second level framing done on both sides of the street here. These are buildings 1 and 2. They're doing the roof framing right now. We're following back in, doing some of the other kind of ancillary blocking. And then it's going to be sheathing, right? We'll show you here in a second. We're starting to get sheathing on site. That's the next big thing. Here shortly, you're going to see doors and windows drop. We're going to start plugging those in. Then the real big important thing is going to be our waterproofing, right? So we're going to come to you and talk a little bit about waterproofing on one of these deals. If you guys have been in the industry, if you've done a lot of residential, you know that waterproofing is a big deal, right? So once we get everything sheathed, once we get the windows and the doors stabbed in, then it's going to be all about waterproofing. So we're going to come to you with that. But luckily, we've got a great company here in Austin that's our waterproofing consultant that we're going to rely heavily on them to come out, look at everything. They're going to stay involved. So that's the next big thing. And then at the same time, the next big push is going to be all the MEP, right? So you can't see it right now, but we've got our plumbers on site in our job site trailer. We're going over strategy for the next few weeks of getting them in, starting to rough in plumbing. Same thing with electrical, right? We're gonna get the electricians out, we're gonna start roughing in electrical. So we've got a lot going on right now, a lot more to come, but come check it out. So something else that we're thinking about right now at this stage is during the framing, making sure we've got blocking in the right spot, right? Blocking, we're really watching our party walls, demising walls, whatever you want to call them, right? Per the plans, especially with a condo project like this, there's very specific detailing on the party walls, right? So we want to make sure and get that right. The other component of that is acoustics, right? We mentioned waterproofing earlier. We're going to have an acoustical consultant come out, make sure that our installation, everything that we're going to do on these demising walls is correct and will avoid future problems. Then it's a lot of just quality control, right? Besides getting the next phase of trades in, MEP, we're going around looking at quality control. Are the walls straight, right? We're running straight lines on the walls because right now, everything looks really good. You can walk out here, look at all the framing, everything looks to be pretty straight. You really don't find out until you start putting drywall up and then you start mudding. If you've got any bows in the wall, any kind of crookedness in the walls, and by the time you get drywall up, as you guys know, it's way too late. So one thing they're going to be doing as we follow along and start covering stuff up, prior to that, we're going to be using straight lines. We're going to be checking to make sure that all the walls are plumb, they're straight, everything's in line, and are going to set us up for success down line with future finishes. Austin, where are we at? What are we trying to accomplish this week, next week out here at Industry?
Well, we're looking good, guys. We're ahead of schedule right now. Obviously, as you can see from the previous walkthrough that we did, we're working on level 2, substantial completion of framing for building 1, simultaneously moving over to building 2. Level 1 decking's done. Working on level 2, getting the joist trusses in place. Starting next week, we'll start sheathing due to our zip board, zip panels all around the buildings, and then moving over to building 3 and 4. So all indications is a very tight site, but things are going extremely well, as good as you can get as of now. And then we're already starting to look into the MEPs coming in, start performing their rough in, start getting the framing inspections done. So ideally the goal every day is to keep guys busy, nonstop, making progress, getting that stuff updated through Procore, and keeping our client happy, which all indications is that we've achieved that.
Yeah.
100% so far. So this is kind of a good area. Blessed to have an opportunity to have a trailer on site here. This came in handy a lot with our trades. As you saw earlier, we had some key meetings with our MEP guys. We've had key meetings with the ownership and architects in here. So kind of a place where we can kind of come, get problems resolved, and kind of express any concerns that they may have. Start, getting stuff planned and getting ahead on everything. So definitely been fun.
Yeah. What's your biggest milestone over the next, say, call it 2 to 3 weeks?
I would say 100% completion of framing.
Yeah.
Moving over to 3 and 4. Like I said, there's 2 different types of units here. Unit A, Unit B being ADA compliant. So that does kind of play a factor. A little bit more has to be observed during that time with our clearances, our distances, and what we have. But in order to do that, what's been tough so far is just how tight the site is. I'm sure you guys saw outside with some of the views that we have. This is a very narrow path, a very narrow approach, and we're also in the middle of a neighborhood. So making sure that, you know, these day-to-day operations, we're not obstructing anything or bothering the neighbors nearby. You know, keeping code compliant wise, parking, all that good stuff. So yes, big milestones: get framing done, get that inspected cleared through the city, get MEPs in, start getting that top outs, the rough ends completed, and then after that, start hanging some sheetrock. So we're going to be moving along really, really fast here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and here's the thing, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? We have been real fortunate. We've got great subs on site. Shout out to Gaskills Construction, who's doing all of our wood framing. They're killing it, right? They're going really fast. So as we sit here today, we're ahead of schedule, right? And I know contractors sometimes, we want to keep that in our back pocket, right? But you know, we're hoping through some of these videos, we're going to give you a little bit of insight into kind of how we're operating and what we think is important. What we think is important right now, since we're a little bit ahead of the schedule, is to keep the foot on the gas, right? So a big focus is going to be on what's our next milestone. Can we keep pulling that schedule to the left a little bit, right, and buy us some extra time? You know, we're communicating all this at a high level to our client, to the design team. But right now, especially, you know, this early in the job, is when we can create a little bit of buffer in the schedule. So we're going to keep the foot on the gas. So that's what Austin and I are going to talk about here in a little bit, but you'll see.